Welcome back, everybody, to the show. It has officially been just 1 year of 4 that Donald Trump has been president of the most powerful country on the face of the earth. Now, 1 year mark today, I'm going to show you clips from an insane press conference Trump held commemorating this and celebrating what he calls a binder full of achievements. You see him showing off there, and then he chucks the binder. Kind of symbolic in a way. Throws the binder of achievements on the ground. But today, January 20th, is indeed, as I said, 1 year since Trump was inaugurated as president. It also just so happens to be Jeffrey Epstein's birthday. Now, coincidence? I say not.
I love minors.
Your words. Now, I hear you saying, wait, doesn't that mean that that's real, by the way, that Epstein's birthday is just every time a president is inaugurated? Shh. Hush. It lines up with this, and that's the notable part, okay? A little bit too on the nose. So, Trump came out for this press conference like this.
It's a big crowd. It's a lot of people. I think it's like a record. So,
dude, it's a press conference, not a rally. He has one mode. He's always in one gear. Biggest crowd ever. It's the press briefing room.
These are accomplishments. We have a lot of accomplishments. And as you know, this is the anniversary, first anniversary, January 20th. And it's been an amazing period of time. We have a book that I'm not going to read to you, but these are the accomplishments of what we've produced. All page after page after page, individual things. I could stand here and read it for a week and we wouldn't be finished.
So I don't know if what I'm about to read is in this binder, but before I show you some of the craziest moments from the press conference, let me remind you that in the last year, he has cut funding to crucial programs. Elon destroyed critical organizations like USAID and institutions that help hold rich people accountable. Ripped healthcare away from millions of Americans for tax cuts for the rich, divided us further from our neighbors, abused and harassed and killed our neighbors with ICE, illegally deported innocent lawful asylum seekers to a foreign prison camp, degraded our democratic institutions, alienated our allies, cozied up to dictators, launched prosecutions against numerous innocent political enemies, tariffed everyone, then untariffed everyone, then tariffed everyone, then untariffed everyone, then tariffed everyone, etc. Covered up the Epstein files, then 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 released less than 1% of the Epstein files, then covered up the Epstein files, attacked the free press with the FCC and with frivolous lawsuits, undermined public health with Bobby at HHS, covered up his own health problems, wrecked the EPA's ability to protect our environment, called for the death of democratic lawmakers, invaded Venezuela, and I could go on. But I know you came for the press conference clip, so we'll get to those. But when Trump came out with this big binder, it reminded me of this when he was in the 60 Minutes interview and Stephanie Ruhle asked him, do you have a healthcare plan? And he said, yeah, soon. And so then Kayleigh McEnany walked out with this big binder and was like, here's our healthcare plan. And they just printed out so many pages to make it look big that Stephanie Ruhle nearly got smushed by the binder, but then they actually flipped through it and it wasn't a healthcare plan, but it was just for the optics. Similar vibe when Trump came out with this binder. While you watch more, please do remember to click the subscribe button. If you appreciate the show, it's very simple, but we appreciate it greatly. One other way, if you want to support the broader Beasley universe, you can drink Pep, which is an energy drink that's gut-friendly, doesn't have all the artificial junk and sweeteners that go into many energy drinks and chemicals and nasty stuff. Instead, good for the gut, gives you that energy boost. You can feel clean and good about drinking and go to drinkpep.com to support my family business with my two brothers, and it can be delivered directly to your doorstep. Drinkpep.com. Get some pep. You need something to lighten up the day when you remember that we've only been through 1 year of Trump and we have 3 more. Here's him bragging and bragging and bragging.
Here's the book. These are all things. I'm going to read a few of the samples, but look at this. These are all, each line is something that we did. Nobody did that before. And it's big stuff, too. Look, we have the hottest country in the world.
And then he chucks it, which again, something feels so spot on about that. Saying, no one's ever done this. We have the hottest country in the world. Boom. Not. That's what I hear. We have the hottest country in the world. Not. We're crushing it. Not. That's what it feels like. I was half expecting him to chuck it at a reporter, but he didn't. Then he was very proud of himself because one of those, what are those called? Those little, that hold paper together? Those little things? He was very proud of himself for not pinching his finger with it.
The book on accomplishments. And this is something, ooh, I'm glad my finger wasn't in that sucker. That could have done some damage, but you know what? I wouldn't have shown the pain. I would have gone back. What, did you hear that? That was nasty. But I would not have shown the pain. I would have acted like...
This, what is that called? Please, not a paper clip, a thing. So nasty. Much like Ilhan Omar. Oh my gosh.
That was nasty. But I would not have shown the pain. I would have acted like nothing happened as my finger fell off. That was a nasty. I think somebody did that. I think it was him. It was my man. How were you? You didn't do it. I know you did. I know you didn't. So
did he also throw that out on the ground? Dude, it's a thing that holds paper together. It's not a huge accomplishment. It's a binder clip. We all know what it is. I've been saying that from the beginning. It's a binder clip. Is that really what they're called? Wow, that doesn't even sound right. And he is very proud of himself, like a child. Then you have this. Aaron Rupar said, folks, this is some really weird shit. The president is not well. And we now get to the part of the press conference where the president flipped through pieces of paper, didn't explain much what was going on, and just showed us pictures of alleged criminals.
I'm just looking at these charges. It's just...
Could you tell us about them? What an insane press conference. Wow. Huh. This one's crazy. Look at that. Wow. Look at this. False. Look at this. Huh. Click the subscribe button. Look at that. Oh. Every one of these words is just really, wow. That's a baddie. Nuh-uh. But, and then the leg got chopped off. Oh. Ate it? Wait. What? That's not a press conference. Explain what you're looking at.
Pretty incredible. Many murderers, many murderers. People that murdered.
Podcast listeners, he just has photos of criminals, and I guess they're saying these are the people they've detained or deported, and he's just showing them with descriptions of what their crimes were, but not explaining it and just going, wow, and then showing it to the reporters. Rupar says, Trump is just standing before reporters in the White House briefing room, leafing through mugshots and riffing.
Weapons. This one here is very bad. I'm going through this because I think we have plenty of time. I'm going to beautiful place in Switzerland where we'll be, I'm sure I'm very happily awaited for. In Switzerland, they don't know about this. They don't have this problem. They have other problems, but they don't have this problem.
What is happening? What world are we in? This reminds me of, I don't know if I can find this now, but Trump new charts whenever he was in the Oval Office just showing off a chart and he goes, look at this. These are all new numbers. Oh no. Yeah, here, let's see.
This one chart really says it better than anything. If you look at this is great. But this chart is pretty amazing right here.
Hey, bud, explain it. Hey, Bubby, explain it to the rest of us. What? All new numbers. This one's big. Take a look. Yeah. Wow. Then once again, he seemingly can't remember the name of Machado.
They've been working with us so well. It's been so nice. And an unbelievably nice woman also did a very incredible thing, as you know, a few days ago. We're talking to her, and maybe we can get her involved in some way. I'd love to be able to do that. Maria, maybe we can do that. But we're dealing with the people and then the president.
So obviously he's been struggling to remember the name of the person who gave him the Nobel Peace Prize. Not literally, yes, literally, but not technically. Does that make sense? And then he talks about the killing of Renee Good.
They're paid. You know, when the woman was shot, I felt terribly about that.
Really? Because your administration went out and smeared her and called her a domestic terrorist. Is that what feeling bad for someone looks like?
And I understand both sides of it. But when she was shot, there was another woman that was screaming shame, 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 right? You saw it. So loud. She was like a professional opera singer. She was so loud and so professional. She wasn't a woman that was hurt, like, oh, my heart's injured. She was a professional. She's shame, shame. She's screaming, shame, shame. I said, that's not a normal person. That's a professional.
Or that's someone who thinks it was shameful. Could be that. Maybe you should listen to the word. You don't have to be what does that mean? A professional operative to know the word shame and know how to shout it? And of course, it's not a press conference without him continuing to lie about the 2020 election.
We're all allowed in here by an open border policy of the worst president in the history of our country. A man that didn't win the election, by the way, it's a rigged election. Everybody knows that now. And by the way, numbers are coming out that show it even more plainly.
Still haven't seen them. Look at this. All new numbers. Election was rigged. Take a look. Just look. Here you go. Yep. Straight off hot off the press. Wow. Sleepy Joe. Stolen election. Not so sleepy. Very interesting. That's it. No, not this.
No, it's 13 times. More than that even. But we secured most favored nations agreements to slash drug prices by as much as 300, 400, 500, and even 600%.
Yeah. We're going to get logical math on how that's possible at the same time as we get those new numbers on how the election was stolen. I can tell you that. Then on the Supreme Court case reviewing if he illegally imposed tariffs outside of his authority without congressional backing, Trump says this.
And what is necessary with tariffs? I don't know where there's a case even there, but we've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars, and if we lose that case, it's possible we're going to have to do the best we can in paying it back. I don't know how that's going to be done very easily without hurting a lot of people. But we're waiting for that case anxiously, and we have tremendous national security because of tariffs and tremendous income. You know, we have.
So, blah, 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 blah. Aaron Blake said the White House often trots this out as a reason not to invalidate the tariffs, that we'd have to pay them back if they are deemed to be illegal. Which, first of all, kind of contradicts his whole promise about it. But second of all, as Aaron Blake writes, also, if that's the case, they really endangered the country by going so big with the tariffs before knowing whether they're legal. Exactly. So that has been his press conference marking the 1 year. And contemplating the fact that it's only been 1 year and we got to do this 3 more times puts me in this mood. Picture this as alcohol, okay?